Alright, welcome back to Brady's Preservation. So today we got out here in the taxidermy shop trying to pedal around for the day. We got to pick up the daughter sometime today, get the car loaded for tomorrow so we can take her off to college. But so I'm just out here tinkering this morning. Took and cut the grass, got that accomplished. So we're gonna wire up some plugs today. I was gonna do this yesterday, but there just ain't enough hours in the day. So save us a little bit of time. I got my wire run into my junction box, coming down. Made my first hole. So when you pop in a hole, like in 2x4 here, code you're supposed to be within 1.25 inches from the outside of the stud. Boxes should be placed 16 inches off the finished floor. So in here, I just got some laminate flooring just laid down. And you're supposed to have, with a plastic box, within 8 inches of the plastic box, the wire has to be secured. So like we follow it on over here, I secured it here, and then in between your runs it can be 4.5 feet in between. So I secured it here, and then as we run up here, within 8 inches of the box. So here's an example of, so your box is 3 inches deep. They say 6 inches of wire. So from the end of the box, my hand to right here is 3 inches. So I actually have a little over 3. This is just a piece of wire that I run between the boxes that I already had left over from temporary wiring in a light in here, a plug or whatever, like I have my fan on right now. Just a temporary wire plug that I just have wired into the box and nailed over here so get some air circulation. So I'll cut this back to 3 inches. I'll skin the wire out. So you want about, I usually leave about 1 inch inside the box. Same way with here, when you come in, I left about 1 inch. That's a little over 1 inch, but so like this one here, the excess, I'll come here, put my hand on the box, cut the wire. So we come out of this box, through our hole, secure the wire, run over, secure within 8 inches of the box, and put in here. So these 3 boxes I'm gonna have on its own circuit. Let me get the camera set up. I'll show you how to skin the wire back, wire it up to a plug. Some of y'all might know this, some of you might not. So you can always learn something. Okay, got it set up here. So what we're going to do is our 3 inches outside the box. This is just a little over. So what I'm going to do, take a pair of pliers, cut that little excess off. I'm going to reach in here. All you got to do is score it when you get down to the end. Hopefully y'all can see that. And then reach in here, just cut the little excess off. Take the paper off. That'll tear pretty easy. Take your paper off your ground. Do this one. Okay, you're gonna need you a pair of wire strippers. Come in here. And on this plug, you're going to have a gold looking screw, a silver looking screw, and your green. Your green's going to be for your ground. The silver is going to be for your neutral. And then the gold looking screw is going to be for your power. So, rule of thumb is, I normally come back about that distance right there. And then you got these little holes in your wire strippers. You barely poke it through there. Turn it open so that you have a little loop like that to go around your screw. Same way for your grounds. Now if you got a bunch of wires, what you can do is you can twist them all together, put a wire nut on them, make you a little pigtail coming out. But on all these, I'm just going to loop them. I'm going to put the 2 grounds underneath the same screw because they're big enough on these outlets that I can do that. Alright, so we got them all done. I'm going to start with my grounds here, and the screw turns righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, like everything else in this world. So you want to put it where your loop is going around the screw, so when you tighten, it tightens up on it, because otherwise it can pull off. Reach in here, get that around that screw. Well, you know what? These aren't like them other ones. I just opened this pack. So what I'm going to have to do is, these here, I'm going to leave one. I'm going to cut this off. Now, with this being ground, I can do this. Now, if it was one of these, I'd have to put them together with a pigtail. But since you have 2 screws, you can, one coming in, one going out. Same way for the power side, one going in, one going out. Now if you break this little tab off right here, you will only have power to that one side that the wire's hooked on. So like if you had a lamp or something that's plugged in, you could run the power feeding this plug from a light switch. So you could actually have this controlled by 2 different powers if you broke the little tab right there. Same way, and you would have to do it, you could do it for your neutral side, or you could just leave it and then share the same neutral. So find my alignment pliers. I'm going to come in here, try to do this with the camera in the way. I'm just going to twist these, twist them together. I'm going to take this little excess here, cut it off, bend that over where it's not poking. The other plugs I had a little bit longer ground screw, and I could get them both underneath the same one, but this one here are different. So like I said, the silver looking ones are for your neutrals. I'm going to put them in there. sometimes you might have to reach in there. Yep, fold it over just a little bit. Now you can get some plugs that have a little bracket underneath the screw, and you just strip the wire straight off and stick it underneath there. But on these you have to loop them around. To me it gives you a better connection, but alright, so like here, you don't want no skint wire out past it, but you don't want the insulation of the wire underneath the screw. Same way for that there. Now, in the construction world, industrial world, where we have a lot of times metal boxes connected to metal studs, because you can get metal studs instead of wood studs, or it might be mounted to a piece of metal I-beam or anything in a factory. I like to take some electrical tape and you put it around. I know some people probably gonna be screaming, "Oh, you ain't gotta do that," but this is how I do it, and there's 50 ways to do things, so you can do it how you want to, but for me, this is the way I do it. Now you just have to get all of them wires pushed up inside your box, and technically the ground is supposed to go up. If you look in your house, for many years it's been, these are flipped around this way in your house, but technically by electrical code your ground is supposed to be up. That way if anything falls down, like if your plug is barely sticking out and something fell, that it would touch that ground first before it touched something hot. So that's the way we're going to do ours, and a lot of times I think that's something that's overlooked, and the inspectors, they don't push that issue, or you do it that way for inspection and then you turn around and you go back and you flip them all around so the homeowner doesn't whine and gripe about it. "Oh, you put my plugs in upside down." Technically we didn't. So now we're going to continue this step for these 3 plugs. Now I know you can put more than 3 plugs on a circuit, but this is the way I'm doing it because I'm not sure what I might have hooked up to it. It might be a skill saw, it might be a table saw, who knows. But I know, like on this circuit here, that bottom plug down there is going to be what powers my fleshing machine. So I don't want too much on that circuit there. So, and pretty much here in this shop, I'm going to be the only one working. So if you had a bigger shop, you could put, like I did, just a certain amount, however many. I think the rule of thumb is 20. I think it's 20 of them. But really you need to know your amperage of what you're going to be running, so you can determine how much load you can put for the breaker size that you have in your panel. So I hope this helped out. Like I said, please hit the subscribe button. Always gonna have something coming out. Can't wait till I start being able to do some mounts, put that kind of stuff out. But for right now, we're building a taxidermy shop. We'll have other things on this channel, little side projects I do for people, side projects I do for the wife in there, because I need to redo the laundry room. Been remodeling the house for, I don't know, a couple years now. Doing a little bit here and there. So, like I said, hit the subscribe button, help us out. And also go check out my other YouTube channel, Saddle Nation Outdoors. Watch some of our hunts. Can't wait to get back in the woods with my brother this year. Start putting door, my little chalk in the door come out. I guess the wind blew the door a little bit. But can't wait to get in the woods with him this year. Can't wait to get in the woods with my little nephew. See what we can get him this year. He's 6 now. Go watch his hunt. He finally got his first deer this year. Had some nice deer come out. He missed them, but we at least was able to get him his first deer this year. And appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank y'all.